That you say Raul as being Errol Flynn's favorite director, because you would have thought that would be Michael Curtiz.
Flynn and Curtiz didn't get along. Curtiz, in Charge of the Light Brigade, was incredibly cruel with the animals. They'd use tripwires and that, and Flynn just hated that.
Cavalry to prepare to counterattack. Good excellent.
He just didn't get along with Curtiz at all. He didn't like him, and he rather liked Raoul Walsh. And of course, there's that famous story. They were both friends with John Barrymore, and there's that famous story of Raoul Walsh getting the body of John Barrymore out of the funeral parlor and bringing it over to Errol Flynn's house and surprising Errol Flynn, who was rather surprised to walk into his living room and seeing his friend sitting on his couch. And that's a story.
Wait, let's walk me through that crime scene again. What happens here?
Al Walsh and Errol Flynn and John Barrymore were all drinking buddies, good friends and drinking buddies.
Right.
John Barrymore dies. Errol Flynn's very distraught, and at his home, John and Raoul Walsh went down to the funeral parlor, paid a few bucks to the guys at the funeral parlor, brought John Barrymore's body back to Errol Flynn's house, sit him on the couch and said, "Errol, there's somebody here to see you," brought him into the room. And of course, Errol Flynn was sort of shocked and screamed, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's friendship, right?
Yeah.
It's okay. So you can see where Walsh was probably an easier personality to get along with. Curtiz, they called him Iron Mike. He was, known to be difficult. I didn't know about the drastic approach to some of the animals in Charge of the Light Brigade, but man, did that guy get some great, and with Flynn, he got some great pictures. Obviously, two huge influences on a project I'm on now, which was Captain Blood and the Seahawk,
and it's a Robin Hood as well.
Yeah.
Open the door.
Who is this? This?
Sir Robin of Locksley, Your Highness.
Ah. Let him approach.
Greetings, Your Highness. You know, you should really teach Gisborne hospitality. I no sooner enter his castle doors there with a piece of meat than his starving servants try to snatch it from me. You should feed them, Gisborne. They'll work better. With the compliments of your royal brother, King Richard, God bless him.
By my faith, but you're a bold rascal. Robin, I like you.
I'm gratified, Your Highness.
Yeah, I mean, Curtiz is responsible for Casablanca to a large degree, I think.
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah,
that doesn't
he's
just
on
goes
a
to show you.
higher plane. He's on a higher plane than these four guys critically, I think.
Yeah.
Mostly because of Casablanca. He won an Oscar for that. So
Right. Yeah, it's unreal. But it's interesting that you cite these guys for what would be considered like a journeyman's attitude. But you look at these people, you look at these directors as the people they were, and these guys, like Curtiz was said to be at the studio from like 7 a.m. to like 9 p.m. These guys really, and skipped lunch. These guys would put the work first and foremost. He was also a polo player, I think, which makes him a little crazy. I think you have to be a slight lunatic to play polo, but whatever. But anyway, continue.
yeah, no, and Curtiz was, I think he probably did even more films than Raoul Walsh. I mean, he was just a workaholic.
NMOSD is a disease that can blind you, paralyze you, or kill you. But the good news is doctors seem to think they're very close to a cure. They also seem to think that a cure for NMOSD will be a cure for cancer. So that's a 2-for-1 that I can't ignore. And if you're like me, you would donate today to the Gotti Jackson Foundation. My name is Steve Surgic, and I approve this message.